Right now, the United States government is paying more to service its debt than it spends on its entire military. Not defense and education combined, not defense and infrastructure combined. Defense alone, the number crossed $1 trillion in annual interest payments in 2025. It is climbing. The last time America's debt exceeded the size of its entire economy was 1946, the year after the Second World War ended. It is happening again. In 1946, the United States had just financed the largest military mobilization in human history. Debt to GDP hit 106%. The number was daunting, but the conditions for paying it down were almost ideal. A generation of savers bought war bonds. The economy was growing at wartime speed. Inflation ate away the real value of the debt over time. By the 1970s, the ratio had fallen below 30%. Today, the United States debt to GDP ratio stands at approximately 123% and is projected to reach 200% by 2050. The difference between 1946 and 2026 is not just the number. It is that the conditions that made 1946 solvable no longer exist. The American national debt is not just a fiscal problem, it is a geopolitical vulnerability. Here is why. In 1946, Americans financed American debt. By the 2000s, foreign creditors, Japan, China, oil exporting nations, held an increasingly dominant share of United States treasuries. The system worked because these creditors had nowhere better to put their money. American debt was the safest asset in the world, and it paid a yield. That condition is now under pressure on two fronts simultaneously. Foreign buyers are pulling back. Japan is repatriating capital, China is diversifying into gold, and the supply of new debt is accelerating faster than demand can absorb. Here is what is actually happening. In 2025, the United States Treasury auctioned approximately $3 trillion in new debt. In several key auctions, including 30-year bonds, demand was weak enough to push yields above 5% for the first time since 2007. $1 trillion in annual interest payments means that every dollar the government collects in corporate income tax goes directly to bondholders. Before a single road is paved, before a single school is funded. This is not a crisis that arrives with sirens. It arrives with higher mortgage rates, higher credit card payments, a dollar that buys less abroad. And the buyers who made the old math work, Japan, China, the petrostates, are each, for their own reasons, stepping back. This is the vulnerability that sits behind every de-dollarization story on this channel. It is not theoretical. It is on the Treasury's own balance sheet. But here is the counter-argument, and it is strong. The United States borrows in its own currency. It can never be forced into default the way Argentina or Greece was. The Federal Reserve can always step in as a buyer of last resort. And in every crisis, 2008, 2020, 2023, global capital has fled into dollars, not away from them. The dollar is not at risk of collapse. The risk is different and more subtle. The risk is not that the dollar fails. The risk is that the premium the world pays to hold dollars, the exorbitant privilege, slowly erodes. Higher borrowing costs, a weaker currency over time, less room for the government to stimulate in a crisis, a smaller margin for error. 1946 was a debt crisis the United States grew its way out of. 2026 is a debt problem the United States must decide whether to confront, with no guarantee that the world will finance the delay. The question is not whether the United States can borrow more. The question is whether the world's appetite for lending is larger than Washington's appetite for spending. It is getting harder to say yes.